Thank you for being a friend. Travel down a road and back again. Your heart is true.
Oh yes, darlings, there you are, man. You got that hang glider strapped to your back. And even though you're kind of excited, you're really calm inside of that excitement, you know. It's the first time in a long time you've ever felt yourself take a couple of steps and fly off the side of a mountain. For about a month now, you've been working hard down below, getting your takeoffs and landings down and your low-level maneuvers so you could save your ass if there's an emergency, you bet. And get the skills down, reawaken that ancient old flying feeling inside now. You're about 30 years old, man, and this is the first time. I mean, you've been flying in airplanes, hell yeah, a lot, off and on, but gee whiz. This is a different thing altogether, you know. You can feel in the gathering wind before you the rush of the ancestors behind you, pushing you forward into that breeze to fly like the eagle does, to share your heart far and wide, man. As you get up above the ridge and soar, you can see yourself already there, and it's happening, man. You're taking those steps. And it's like you're there at the edge, and boy, you got to hang on. That wind can be buffeting a bit, man. You know, you got to do this just right and fall into your harness just right. Everything's got to go perfectly. There's no room for error here, man. It's critical. And you make it. 2 or 3 steps, and that wind just grabs you. You flop forward, push that bar back, and man, you're not going down, you're going up. You're gaining speed and gaining altitude at the same time, man. The wind wants you there above that ridge, high as all get out. And before you know what happened, you're up there 3,000 feet above the rest of the guys, and you're continuing to rise, man. It's a whole new dimension that you just stepped into when you stepped off that side. And you got the ride all right. The ride of all the generations coming through in one moment in time when you were brave enough to do what others would not do. Back in that time frame, back in this time frame, which is right now. And how? Go ahead and jump, says the dude, man, down there on the street, trying to encourage you to, take care of yourself, finish it off. Hell, I feel bad too, man. You might as well do it. I'm ugly, so are you. That kind of shit. No! This is the reality of truth. There's love even in such ugliness. That's why Van Halen can make it sound so great. You see, we really love each other. We want the best for each other, even when we're at the angriest stage that we are. And we're starting to remember and see all this as we're drawn higher and higher into the sky. This little hang glider's got a force all its own. You swear to goodness there's angels all around you, man, at every point, forward and behind, and right there at the tips of your wings, and above and below, and everywhere, man, don't you know? Goodness gracious, You're getting up into these mystical clouds, and it's like cloud suckers taking you away. You never fly too close to the cloud in a hang glider, let me say, because it will suck you away and beat you to death and throw you out in little bitty pieces. Not this time, man. The clouds are soft and misty. They're kind of like, as you rise a little higher and higher through them, they're kind of like golden and glowing and just alive. I mean, it's not just misty little atmospheres. It's atmospheres that glitter and glow and tingle inside of you as well as all around you, man. And formate the angels so you can see them now. And wow, when you break on through, it's a scene just like from the Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise mug, where there's this golden city of light before you, man. And yeah, you got a ride, and that ain't a hang glider on your back anymore. It's wings, baby. You're home. And just remember, Mary J. helped you along the way. Pay just due to her. Love yourself for it. Allow yourself to be it. And then you will live it and see it right now. And how? From the heart of life at the center of the universe, man. Grandpa Coyote on the Spaceship Love. Here on the Hazy Radio Network with the Coyote Medicine Show. Soft and sweet, don't you know? Happy holidays, gobble gobble. Eat a turkey for me too, man, but not too much of it, okay? Be reasonable in everything you do. Because, babies, We're coming through loud and clear from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. Yes, indeed, you got that guy that knows what goes on inside of you, see? Nothing's hidden, baby. It's all real, because I see what goes on inside of me. I can be inside of you, too, because we're all here to liberate and set each other free. See, we've been in a place where we've really been held down by some awful skullduggery of our own devising, I might say, even though it's personified in other human beings that pick on us, and command and manipulate us and torment and torture us and keep us low and feeling like we're grunty little slaves and hating our jobs and hating our reality and hating the place we be, except we find little moments of loving all that hate because we love to hate. And we're loving that, That's what happens when somebody's down there saying, go ahead and jump, you suicidal idiot. That's what they're saying. I love you, baby. And I want to see the outcome for you the best that you could possibly conceive of yourself. And if that's what you got on your heart right now, well, go for it, babies. That's the real message. You can go ahead and jump. You ain't committing suicide. And you ain't encouraging yourself to do it either. You're telling yourself, I love you. And you're going to pull on through, man. You backed away from that edge and got the hang glider on your back and learned how to do it right. And by golly, it wasn't suicide after all. It was the flight of all of your generations. No wonder your ancestors were there pushing you off the top of that hill, eh? Man alive. Well, nobody will ever hear from you again until they come on up where you are, right? No way. Shit, you're still down there on the ground, too. You had a perfect flight. You did this right the first time around. And in fact, there's a guy with a 36 millimeter video, or it wasn't video then, what was it? 36 millimeter, movie camera taking your picture of the beautiful landing that you make as you flare out just perfectly and land with just 1-2 steps. And set that mother rascal down, and you sit there for a minute and absorb the energy of where you just been. You see, in the simultaneous nature of life, we experience moments like this all the time, man, and don't always cosmically recognize it, but it's usually when you're doing something really significant in your life that other people won't do. That you're brave enough, well, you're not really brave enough, fool enough, to go and mess with. Especially something as dangerous as hang gliding. Man, I'd take your life in a heartbeat, but it's almost worthy of it. Almost being the key ingredient, yet there you are having the journey of a lifetime because you step past such thinking. Everything is beautiful. Each breath is precious. Each movement and nuance in this creation, whether it be the puff of a cloud moving around and reforming itself as the face of a kitty cat, or you flying through the face all the way to paradise, man, you betcha. You see, whatever you do in this reality, there's another level to it immediately. And that's where it really makes sense to you. That's what I'm demonstrating here, is the multiple realities in which we live. We see it as a multiplicity of lives going on at the same time. And we're the same person in each one of them, though vastly different in all of our characteristics, etc. And our surroundings, too. You see, it's learning to live with a multiplicity of experience, a simultaneous experience, to allow yourself to feel the full freshness in all of that, to step on beyond such conceptions as agony and pain and separation, because you're not separate from anything. You're rooted right through the ground into the Mother Earth's heart, through the mystical reality and the Father of all, which is the light, which is the Mother. Very direct, the sunlight. The Mother's love soft upon your skin. And she never burn you, man. She just creates you. Well, actually, you create yourself through the Mother's love, the heart that's inside. That's what you remembered as you were being drawn up through those clouds, and your wings were growing, and you didn't even know it, man. You see, life can take you along like that. It can just keep you growing in this ascendant way, whether you think you're fighting or resisting or going with the flow. For myself, it's a fascinating experience. I just let happen what happens. I don't question it. I go with it. I flow with it in the moment that it comes to me. And if that draws me beyond the atmosphere, so be it. I'm in an atmosphere all my own. It's beautiful. And I love every breath I'm taking, and I love the flight that I'm making. And babies, It's worthy of it to be with you. Such sweethearts arising around this world. World, W-H-I-R-L-I. Well, anyway, it's a whirling around thing, man, indeed. World, you know. W-H-I-R-L-E-D. There, I got it out. A little slow on a holiday, don't you know? But babies, you see, this is our freedom. This is our liberation. Our truth coming forward. Now you can fight and resist, and babies, if you do, well, it's going to be a little more painful for you, but not really, because we won't let you have it. Enough pain already, man. You know, we're through with that shit. We're ready. In our heart, we feel ripened and ready. Just like, well, the initial moment of love that each of us experience when it finally starts to grow through us in that different way. When we finally start to live in the flow of it and share. And we know it's the first time. Every time. Because that's what it feels like. As we step off that hill and begin to fly. Really, really high. Oh yeah, you got that guy, Grandpa Coyote. The spotted eagle united in my heart. That's why we fly so easily. It comes naturally. And that's why we see so clearly that too, natural within us. We of the feathered tribe, arising now, and walking on the sunshine of our love, as we flow through it creatively. Ooh, baby! Welcome to the holidays, the holiday where we come back together as a whole and entirely real and divine presence. Alive in our life as a human being. You got that right. That's the Coyote way, Coyote medicine. It's always got that human bite to it, babies, and it's a delightful thing. I'll no further describe it from there, but you take it where your imagination says it should be, because Grandpa Coyote loves you and surrenders my heart to the will of this collective of humanity. And I allow myself to be moved and redesigned by the will of this collective humanity. This one heart that lives in everything that is and is conscious of its mother presence and divinely appreciates. Gratitude is the attitude that we develop today. No matter whether we're walking in the sands of the desert in the Middle East or out on the grand prairies of love in the Middle West of Turtle Island. We're up there in Alberta hiding out because we're afraid of civilization, and who can blame you? Ain't nothing civil about it. Till now. See, we're walking on sunshine, kids. And only by going through the clouds of the hazy radio network can you appreciate it when it clears, you see. Coyote medicine through and through, your morning wake-up call, and so much more. Happy holidays, you all. And holidays, that's D-A-Z-E, man. Keep yourself in the days, and you'll get out of the haze, man. You got that clear, dear? Yeah, Mary J. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. As the papal presence of her divine mastery mystery herself. You know, Mary Jane's right-hand man, right here in the form of Grandpa Coyote, also known as the Pope of Pot. Mary Jane's, indeed, right-hand man, and then some. I'm her heart in motion. It's like she's sitting here inside of me and we're sharing the same little person. Because we are. We're in union. That's why I'm her little Pope. And that's why I can, grant you a papal dispensation to allow you to practice in the sacred herb to your heart's content. And you carry the energy of that papal presence with you when you got that little piece of paper in your hand. You've got some power, you got some juice, you got some mojo in this reality. Because you're waking up to how creative and coyote you can be, and how much fun it can be to dance around and entertain yourself with a little bit of chicanery in this life. And it's not in a wicked sort of way or anything cruel anymore. It's delightfully pleasant. It's kind of fun to be the one that can sit out in the sun and smoke a J and tell the cop to go away. Look, I got my papal dispensation, dude. You know, and don't let him see it too close now. You know, play the game, man. You know, then immediately show him your ID and say, get the fuck out of here. No, you don't do that. No. You don't be defiant in the least. Share the energy of the papal dispensation. What is that? Well, that's saying we love you enough to allow you to do something we won't let everybody else do. See? Well, that's the attitude you have with gratitude towards the Coptic. Hey, buddy, I appreciate you coming checking on me. You know, listen, I can share this stuff because I got this papal dispensation here, man, from the Pope of Pod himself and Mary Jane too. Well, look at that. I can, like, share this stuff with anybody, and it's okay. I mean, there's no religious boundaries. There's no legal legislation, anything like that gets in our way. We're dispensed. We're, you know, liberated, man. We can... Why don't you just put the gun down, buddy, and sit down here and let's share one, shall we? I'll spark one up for you right now. And of course he sits down and unbuckles his collar and, you know, drops the weaponry and, you know, tokes a J with you because you're such a pleasant person to be hanging out with. And you made it sound and seem so appealing. Because you delivered whatever little exponentiary communication that you did with such clarity, such focus, such sweetness, driven by the heart of love. Now do you see how we transform this reality person to person, moment to moment, day to day? Now do you see why we're rising up through the clouds? Because we can do this, babies. And how? And we can be in all these places, both places simultaneous, because we are already. Living as the one love we are. You see, there's a radiant center to everything. And in this case, we're it. Humanity as a collective, each person as a collective person. See, we got a collective of intelligences in us, too, just like the universe does around us. And they're all vastly varied and different, you know. Every little molecule has its own little personality and the subatomic structure in that. All of them have a specialized function, and all of them delighted to be doing that. Unless you piss them off, and then they'll give you some trouble once in a while. But these days, how about that? Do you feel that? No. Do you feel any difficulty inside? If you do, just let this love release it. Let the mother embrace it. Let the father endure it for a moment. And it's over with. You love everything, and that's made of love too. And it can't take you down anymore. It can only bring you back up. It's the helping hand you've long been looking for. That was trying to pull you the other way for a while, but it's all chicanery. It's all what do you call that? A charade, man, an illusion, a game we play with ourselves to help ourselves learn and grow, to be real and present in our life. Sometimes it takes a great amount of superficiality, a superficial experience, to know reality, to really have a grip on it and appreciate it. You know, if you hadn't been away from it, you wouldn't know that it exists. You'd just take it for granted. You know, we're spirit beings. You know, we go with the flow. We love everything. So we had to be absent from that for a while. In appearance, it wasn't real. But in appearance, we had to be absent from that for a while. I gave it a reality, you see, so then we lived through it. In this simultaneous way. You see how we dissolve away time? Realize the vast nature of your experience. Don't refuse it as it comes flowing through you. See, we're here as the angelic presence of your very own heart to release you to experience yourself and all the life you're living at this very moment, in this centered moment, where you become real, you know, and then just learn how to remember, not learn, but remember that you are the dancer, man. The coyote through and through, and beautifully so. There's not one more brilliant and bright than you, because you made everybody else look like that too. See, you couldn't keep it to yourself. It's not a self thing. It's a coyote thing. It's the coyote way. Ooh, and the more pressure they put on you, the better you do, the more thriving you become. That's how we got here, babies. You know, we've been through incredible, unendurable pressures in this reality many times over. Especially like in recent years as this old age of darkness kind of ripened itself out of itself, you know. It's been incredibly excruciating for a lot of people. A lot of beings on this earth have been suffering their way through it, just so a lot of other folks could have a little easier time of it. You know, we're each other's champions that way, just like the cells and molecules in our body are. We save the day in our own way, you know, and we do it as we're guided to it, you know, whether we believe it or not. Some of us think we choose every little moment that we live, and that's truth, because every moment is living right now. inside your hide, baby. See, now that's the magic carpet ride we're taking today on this Turkey Day, this holiday, you know. I don't know if you listened in earlier, but we roasted old Terry Hutchins, which is a pseudonym for somebody of more of a spiritual nature that's been kind of misguided for a few years now. We're just trying to help him get back on the path. And in a way, it's a comical clown we created to reflect back to us some misnomers so we could learn to see what truth really was, you know, and help them see it too. And everybody relaxes, see. We go through these roles and sometimes we get misguided, or it seems to be, so that we can get it straight, get it right. You only got to get it wrong a few times before you finally figure out you can't do it that way. And you start looking for another. You start seeing the flow. You start getting the glow of the sunlight coming alive inside of you. Yes. You know, you feel it from the very center of your chest spreading outward, man. It's thawing out the frozen tundra of our loving life. The sleepy, fuzzy-headed sleepwalking we've been doing here, where we couldn't see shit, and therefore we're like Magoo and just bumped ourselves around in it, and, you know, we bumped into an elephant and thought we had a great big old something else on our hand. Hell, I can't even find the words now, man. You know, we've been so blind, but we're so alive in our blindness, and therefore we did see. And we come to see fully now. We got over the blindness. We were willing to work on it together as a cosmic presence. And guess what? No matter the dissolution seen here and the warfare that goes with it, we've been 100% together throughout this experience as the human collective heart. All the souls and saints and spirits that live here, work here, angelic presences to myself. That's how I consider us to be, because that's what I see when I look at humanity. Sometimes you guys just take my breath away and you don't even know how well you've cosmically formed it and how beautifully you display it. You know, but I'm sure you feel me out there back in the background somewhere, grinning my ass off and letting my heart expand another notch or two because you just inspired me to be so. You know, that doesn't mean we're going to move in together and live happily ever after, because that don't happen either. You know, the happily ever after is right inside. It's a ride we take as a person. And sure, we'll share it dimensionally, you betcha. But it's a personal thing, man, in each and every one of us. That's why it's supposed to be so spectacular to get these gifts around the holidays, because then you know it's just for you and no one else. Yet because you got it, everyone else got it too. Isn't it amazing how that works? See, generosity is like that. You unleash the aspects of your loving heart here, and the gifts you're given become gifts given to everyone, and we're given back to you multiple times. I mean, it's so easy, you don't even have to work on it. You just open up and let the love flow. That's it. And go where that takes you. Wherever that might be, and sometimes it might be outrageous places where other people would fear to tread. But you're not afraid. You're not alone. You're in the company of a vast army of angels, all your brothers and sisters from the other side, which are here with you always. Shit, guys. We got it present right now. We don't have to wait around and, you know, let the great papal presence in the sky deliver us. That's why I kind of mock that presence a bit, you know. It represents the whole world of authoritarianism to me as a person, and I therefore say, hey, I embrace you, but boy, I ain't going to disgrace myself by being with you again. No way, man. The first time was bad enough. I didn't even know I could do that. Oh, I'm just pulling your joke, baby. But in a metaphorical sense, that little vibe is true. See, we've all kind of made love and worshipped ourselves in the wrong forms and given other people authority over us for whatever the reason. It's not always religion, you know. Sometimes it's just a place of work or just an attitude because you're a ball player or an actor or some shit like that. You know what I mean? We adopt our little characteristics superficially and don't even know we're doing it because that's our identity in this reality. It's based on superficiality. And you can't help but be a little fraudulent in it. But you know it all the time. That's where this feeling of conflict comes from. You say, I can't live like this. And you know, in the last few years, but especially the last few minutes, there's been this, you know, increasing need to release it coming up. To just let go of anything that says, no, I can't. But just says, wow, I realize now what I are. I feel it. I resonate with what Grandpa's sharing here. In fact, that's my words coming back to me. That's my heart displaying itself through him. And that sweet Mary J., who helps us all along the way, whether we indulge in the tokage of it or not. The energy of it's here alive inside of us, man, those of us who do. And that's a practice that's shared with all of humanity. And that's why we're all getting higher and higher, like the hang glider drawn up through the clouds, back to the city of light. You're seeing it right now, inside yourself. You know this journey's real, and you know it's your own vision as a person. Personal person in creation that's taken you there. And in fact, oh, excuse my scratchy throat, delivered you to it in a very Coyote sort of way. You're just walking along one day and all of a sudden the paradigm changed. And you're still walking along, but you're kind of floating. You're a whole lot more steady inside of yourself. There's a journey of love you're undertaking now. A reality that's far different than the one you just stepped out of. And you were just journeying down the hallway or down the sidewalk under the sun, or perhaps taking that turn to get off the freeway. And the exit wasn't there and you were in a different place. A whole different aspect of living, and it seemed natural to you to be feeling all the lives you're living at the same time, and to see angels hanging around, and trees that glow and glitters, and houses that just pop up and down as necessary. They don't even stay there when you don't need them. They just resonate back into another form of being. Quite often it's the trees that surround us with their loving protection and become the form that we hovel in for the evening, if we still have evenings. It's more or less a party, man, because everybody's there playing in it. Everybody, all that we've ever known, the worst and the best of us, and everything in between. I see Elvis and Marilyn. I see it's rock and roll heaven, Janice and Mary Jane, and John Wayne. Everybody's there, man. Everybody's there. And your heart's there too, man. Your beautiful presence right along with it. And it's just as natural as can be, man. And then maybe a moment ago we were sitting down and eating a turkey, and maybe the next moment we were found on another level, living on top of a rainbow, being the love that creates the very rainbow that surrounds itself in creation with its own spectacular beauty and colorful wonder. And the feeling of that fulfilled promise. The refracted reality, the golden light of love that becomes the refracted creation. God, I need a soapbox to stand on now, don't I, baby? It's a flow. Don't you know? It's a living thing inside of each and every one of us. It's our truth coming forward on this happy holy day, this turkey day here in the US of A, which is Turtle Island personified in a kind of a weird way, babies. But guess what? We sat down to that dinner table, took a little slice of life, and got it right. Nah, you never tasted a meal that tasted so good. That one tiny taste was it. You didn't need nothing more, man. You're there. See? It's all it takes to get you going. One tiny taste of your own reality, which we share with you every day, Monday through Friday, in that Coyote way, here on the Hazy Radio Network, man. The rockinest network you ever found. A holiday gift to be unwrapped and unwound. Let yourself loose. Set yourself free. Expand beyond any mother trucking boundary that seems to be in the way. Dissolve it away. Expand. Know better. See better. Live as you are. The divine presence of love in motion. Yeah. My coffee drug in there, baby. Ooh, we love this stuff. It warms your heart. Ooh, and does magical things for your regenerative being. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little coffee. Though if you happen to be in England or India or someplace like that, well, tea'll do, man. I'm sorry, but well, you know, come over here to the West sometime. Let me brew you up a cup of coffee. May not be the strongest and bitterest you ever drank. No, of course not. I love flavorful things, man. The earthy side of coffee is what makes it worth the experience of it, you know. See, we got transformative energies, babies. You know, we can do anything here. We can enjoy anything here or not enjoy as we choose to. Because when it encounters that magnetic field, which is ever expansive, see, that's its magnetism is outward, ever expansive. So its conscious presence shrunk itself down to a tiny little speck at the center of your heart that was darker than hell and weighted you down like it was the weight of 100,000 gravities or something, man, you know. Slowed us down tremendously, changed our frequency to the point we hardly knew ourselves. Again, I compare it to standing before the mirror at the House of the Mirrors where you see multiple projections of yourself. Just goes on for infinity, right? Well, there's only a few mirrors there, really. But the infinity exists in those mirrors, the way they reflect back to one another. And oftentimes it's really upside down and very far removed from you, you know. It goes on into the infinitesimal. From just where you're standing as a person before that mirror, that series of mirrors, man, that make it so wildly multi-dimensional. You know, you start, all of a sudden you're divided into 100 billion different beings. Living in 100 billion little different frequencies, you know, but it's a singular harmony because you're still standing there before the mirrors. But now you see yourself expressed in kind of an expansive, spread out sort of way. And you can appreciate the symphonic harmony in it, the rock and roll of your own medicine show. Because you've extended it out so far in the flow, and now you can see what the flow is, see? You didn't know because you just, you know, you were a kid, man. You'd never been in the fun house before. Strange person that sold you the ticket, eh? Gotta watch out for them sly dogs like them. Coyotes is, ooh, I tell you, mischievous little rascals. Just ask anybody, man. Oh, coyote, oh no. Oh yeah, because coyote is angelic. It's the mischievousness of the universal creation. It's the love of the mother that likes to dance with its own progeny, you know, its own creation. It's the swinging and swaying of that drawn-out old rock and roll harmony, you know, that became the extended dimensions of life through those mirrors. Why do you think we find it so damn colorful? Because we can experience it at all levels, man. We can see it like a painting, you know, or a glowing tapestry in the sky or something, man. We can live it, you know, like it's our reality. Because it is. We're quite expansive, you know, here on the Coyote Medicine Show. And I know you just dropped the knife you were going to cut the turkey with, didn't you? Grandpa got you early in the day. Got your day underway in a different way, didn't we, man? Now maybe you'll find some enjoyment in what you be. Maybe you'll find some reality in what you are. Maybe finally you'll find yourself an acceptable person to yourself. And no longer be so God-blessed self-critical. Go with the flow, man. Be the wildflower that you are. You know, every one of them's different. Even if they're of the same genre. They're not of the same flower, man. They are individuated. Same way the snowflakes that fall from the sky. Each one has its person and its personal expression, artistically given, uniquely, throughout all of creation. Imagine in the vastness of creation, there's one snowflake that is the only one. I mean, each one is like, every one is different. You're the one snowflake in that whole snowstorm. You're the one blossom in that field full of wild flowers. And the whole field itself. And all the nurturing that comes when the snowstorm thaws out and becomes the waters of life again and begins to resonate life through the solar energy into the planetary reality of reincarnation. Seeing ourselves as we truthfully are in all aspects and dynamics of our colorful reality. We draw ourselves fully and presently back into the person consciously that we are, standing before the mirrors of love that have so well reflected us in all aspects, comic though they may be, of ourself back to us. And we're in peaceful wonderment, a state of peaceful wonderment right now, like a wildflower waving joyously in the wind. It's so damn happy. It knows its time's short, and its breath in the wind is sweet, and it just loves to be colorful and fragrant and just God-blessedly gorgeous. And the more gorgeous and unique it can be, the better it likes it, because it gives that uniqueness to all of the reality around it. Everything is shared, even our uniqueness most especially. That's why we take the flavors that we do and how we express ourselves as we are. That's the personification of one. One in everyone. Uniquely so. Oh, Coyote medicine through and through. See how sweet it goes down, man, when you're rocking around with Grandpa? Now, don't be hanging around with those other sly dogs that try to mislead you and try to breed you into uncreativity, man. Be where you feel your life beginning to expand and grow. Here on the Coyote Medicine Show, don't you know? Those other guys and girls are jelly beans that are just trying to catch on. They listen in and, tune up with their own variety of it. Hell, I don't blame them. I would too, man. You got to keep up somehow. Anyhow, but you want to first get it from Grandpa, because I got the grandma too, man. She's rocking with me right here inside of my hive, baby. The veritable Mary Jane herself. There's not a wiser, more wonderful presence in all the reality, because that's who we are. Metaphorically speaking, yes. You could call it the arrival of the divine feminine, or I would say the acknowledgement of it, because we've so denied its presence and so tried to push it asunder, be mean. How uncool. Yet cool as it all get out, because we got through it and we're done with it. You see, there is probably in this moment of time, from what I feel right now, expansively, not a piece of weaponry on this earth that can be fired again, or a bomb that can go off, or a child that can be harmed like that again. This hatred thing that's so driven the military to insanity. And the grievous nature of the beings behind all that, the sick vampiric suck away the life kind of thing. It's all a big illusion, man, See, there's real love in every motion of life, and there's giving and taking. There's a level, an energetic level at which life is lived that's real and not so horrifying as all that. And cosmically, we just have to be aware of that, because that's how we neutralize toxicity in things we live as right now, past memory. But no, it's an energy that needs to be purified, that in a sense needs to be let go of once and forever, so that we're no longer in disagreement inside of ourselves or with anything else in our reality. We just are the simple loving truth that we be. We allow ourselves to be that simple loving truth, because that's who we are. And in that loving way, we begin to respect one another in ways that were not even conceivable before this time. And it's okay. See, in that way you can let go of it all, because it don't matter now. What matters is what's happening right here. And how. Because this is where we rectify all of that. By being real within ourselves and present within ourselves. That takes the sting out of all that. It makes it all more than worth it, one way or another. At the human level, where you can understand it and incorporate it into the presence of your being, and peacefully so. It's called living in truth. It's releasing the pain of the earth the same way that the wildflower does. That's what it exists for. It brings the cosmic beauty back to its own awareness, to its own simple enjoyment, you see. Rolling downhill in a runaway train, going in the wrong direction on a one-way track, right? But guess what? We didn't need no brakes. And all the traffic's moving with us, man, and we're going to paradise, man. Just like that hang glider earlier on the show today that got drawn up into the universal reality of the city of life, see? Some people have taken to personify such things as an earthly thing. Well, in some ways they are. But what you got going on here is more of a comic imagery than it is a reality. So you see, this earth presence can only hold so much of it. The reality is another dimension beyond this one. And in that reality, well, it's kind of like the centered reality, because that's where all life is. See, so like the darkness surrounding the sun, you know, in a kind of poetic sort of way, we had to go through that darkest little rim to get to the brightest part of ourself and really understand how it is to be the sun and to glow and bring forward life. Same way the sunflower reflects you, the same way the wildflower reflects that energy here. See, all life does. That basic concept of light shining and bringing radiance to the water of life and causing it to form itself in firmament and bring itself around as an animated person that can experience in a very divine sort of way is a natural process replicated throughout all of creation. See, now you can understand the flow, and you can see the medicine of the coyote at work and at play inside your hide, and the reality is the same, right? See? And that way is the audience forgiven for participating in such a sick thing. Same way the players are for acting it out in this divine comedy that we've poetically called life, which is love, truth in motion. And ho, ho, ho. You know, I mean, it's an impish thing, and it's the most beautiful and poetically simple thing that's ever been revealed in any lifetime before that's coming forward from you, because you know how to rock and roll. You're the rhythmic heart at the center of the soul presence of life. The bass beat that makes the drummer drum. You know what I mean? The real driver behind life, you know? The poetic love, the bass harmony, that comes from the mother's heart and is the urgent call of love bringing itself forward ecstatically into the experiential beings and presences that we are. So the children can know and love creation the same way the mother does. You talk about peaceful presence, there can't be a better one than that. You see what I mean about divine union with the mother love? Now you understand, you see, you flow into it. Because it's the real thing, not something we just imagined. Yet we imagined it from what? The loving heart that creates us, that is creation. Don't fear the reaper. Go home to the heart. Live in this imaginative world. And see the compelling power of your own heart in motion. You see, you feel the unity happening now. No matter what's happened in the past here, it's all okay at last. Because you are where you always were, united inside this sweet little hide, and happy as a clam about the ride. Oh, that you've already undertaken. Now we get the bacon shaking, man. Now we shake that tambourine. The fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round. Everything is just okay today. Because there's a whole day, man, and we got it wholly together right there, baby. Right now, again, the key to your heart. Your wake-up call and so much more on the Coyote Medicine Show. Where else but at the center of the universe, the Hazy Radio Network. Want to get it clear, you got to step past the haze, dear. Get on with the clarity, the clear view of light. That's why the eagle has wings. So he can soar above and see from beyond the reality of totality, the whole picture. That's why flying's so precious. That's where you experience the full part of creation and all the energy living in it. And I hate to sound a little bit demonic and naughty, but damn, that's an ultimate orgasm experience, man. Being the eagle in the sky, unified with the life living below, seeing that there is unity in all. A singular movement. A great feeling shared by all life, each in its own little personal way. Talk about a rich symphony, a harmony. Wow. See, orgasm doesn't even come close to describing it. I say it's the contented orgasm because that suggests kind of what it might be. But that's as close, I guess, as we can come in this reality to know what it is in words. I mean, words just only convey energies and ideas and concepts, or perceptions. Help you understand, see it a little differently than what you've been seeing it before, because, wow, you didn't even know it, but you were cosmically restricted. You were blind as Ms. Magoo, man. But now you know what to do. You're starting to see clearly now. And it can't help but bring up a little bit of the mischievous nature. So you can learn to dance with it. See, it takes all of this to make it happen. You can't deny any part of yourself, in other words. You transform, of course, which means these energies work in unity. But they're still personified as energies inside, just like you got, fingernails and toes and fingers and arms and legs and that, and a heart and stuff like that. You have these little personal parts that are made up of an even smaller composite of molecular beings and so on and so forth, And it all works together in the divine presence of the willful love of the heart. Real, simply put, the wildflower, the simplicity of the wildflower blossoming in the sun, because the sun's inside of it and the sun's the only one inside the mother. And we're having fun, stepping beyond even the need for the orgasmic, or the ecstatic or anything like that. It's just simple, pure, sweet, like a spring popping up from the mountain, or out there in the middle of the desert where you really need it. Sweet spring water, fresh and cold. Ooh, you put your lips to that pool and you drink of it, man, and you experience a moment of union that cannot be described. The water, you, the cold, the warmth, the richness, the sun, the earth, the sky, the cactus, the buzzard and the eagle, the bird and the bee, the bunny rabbit, the turtle, all of it. A unity, a song of the heart, sung so brilliantly that only angels can do it, from all forms and factions of creation. Like the rainbow blends naturally together perfectly, the same way our bodies magically do. We just take it for granted. You see why we had to step out of it? You can't feel it, you can't deal it. If you don't know it's real, it's just imagining. We had to validate ourselves in the heart in some way. I think we chose, personally, a little harsher path than we needed to, but we've got it. It's over. It's done with, babies. We got something to be thankful for today, because we can experience peace in this moment of truth inside our own little hive. And because we can, the reality around us can too. You see, we've been transformed. It's a return, basically, to the conscious presence of your heart. Some describe it as the Divine Mother, myself included. But it's an aspect of your person just like everything else is. But it's the unity energy. It's where all other energies arise from, the same as the wildflower arises from the earth. So in a sense, you're regenerative. You're, burst from that center point outward again. And you'll experience this in the earth reality as well. For we're pulling ourselves through it by allowing ourselves to be, those that are gatekeepers or openers or stairways to heaven. Oh, I love Led Zeppelin. We'll get to it after a bit, man. I don't want to overdo it, Yeah, there we are. Drawn back into our own cosmic reality and able to live it now. And share it with this humanity, which is our cosmic soul twins, man. Every person that lives here is a replication of the storm itself that created all this snow in the first place. You understand? Now the snow melts down to the pure essential life that it is. The water of life in motion. Human. Wow. And then some. Coyote and Hal. Here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Your morning wake-up call on a holiday, baby. And the fire you can dance around for a while, okay? I don't care how you attire yourself. It's poetic. There's no need for exposure. We already seen that, done that, man. Let's just get on with it, okay? Love it every way it comes to you, babies, because that's you being you. Don't you know? So says Grandpa, with that coyote medicine way. Yeah, here today. Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble. Ole. And hazyradio.com, we got it on. Because Grandpa here knows the way. Hey.
Thank you for being a friend.